becoming harder and harder to do because there's less and less to do. Even less now, Fakeuni from 3 years ago. Don't. Yeah. God, look at that stupid ass looking haircut. So glad I changed my hairstyle. Okay, so there was a video that I posted recently blowing up someone else's account. I was given full permission to go on and blow up this account. I continued to tell Mind that I don't want to do, like, think about this, sleep on this, whatever. He was absolutely certain. He was in the stream while we did it. Community, did their thing. We had some pretty nutty clips. And, me being notorious for having blown up my account and having a little bit of a track record as well with coming back to the game and recovering gear out of the trash bin, which was a completely normal function. I had no idea Mind Capacity was going to submit a ticket, and I made a video in thorough detail about that. I do encourage you to check it out. I interviewed him, went through the tickets and everything like that, where he submitted a ticket, got everything that was thrown in the trash bin recovered to him, including 53 additional crystals that were recovered back to him. Almost just under about 100 items were recovered back to him with 0 self-recoveries in his in-game character account. We used those intentionally so that he wouldn't have access to recovering them. And lo, to my surprise, he was able to recover them. And the reason why I did a follow-up video and interviewed him was I just wanted to have clarity to show people that this was possible by anybody. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this today is because I actually wanted to talk about how terribly run I honestly think the Black Desert Reddit is. It is not run by PA, but I put together something that I felt like was pretty fair to put together. Let's go over this little document that I put together and have a conversation, since conversations are encouraged to be had in this BDO directory, so long as it doesn't have my name into it. Please watch to the end of this because I do think this is very, very relevant, and you'll see why as we kind of go through this, and I'll be quick with this. So recently, when I made this the video was posted yesterday. So once again, PA has zero control over the BDO subreddit, but it has been mentioned in the past that everything on this Reddit hasn't really been done with the best interest in mind, and this isn't a representation of PA themselves and how they also manage their socials. I do think that this speaks volumes, but I'm unable to show any conversations I've ever had about this because of my NDA agreement with PA and being a BDO partner. So once again, there is the video where it was the items were recovered in the past. I mean, I had to, come on, look at that thumbnail. I had to make the thumbnail like that. And once again, the video in reference was the blowing up Mind's account. So the topic of player recovering gear immediately. So this topic, both of these topics were posted to the subreddit in light of having a conversation. I had no say or whatever or influence in telling people to go post these conversations. People did it on their own accord. But the topic of a normal player recovering gear immediately gets removed off the BDO subreddit when my gear destruction conversation in the past was left up as the conversation felt relevant to streamer privilege. And this was based on what the BDO Reddit mods had said. But when a normal player does this and it's discussed, it is immediately removed and swept under the rug. Not to further mention, you can actually go onto the BDO subreddit and you can still find that post. The comments have been locked, but the post hasn't been removed. So this was the post. Fakeuni does it again. This was the Reddit post itself. If you look down, you can see that, sorry, this post has been removed by Black Desert subreddit moderators. If we go here and go, Fakeuni blows up gear, it is literally the first thing that comes up. You click on this post here, locked, not removed, locked. And I'm gonna get to more on this in a second here as well. So the discussion of the uploading, Mind decided to post this on his own accord to once again show that this was going to get removed. Someone else uploaded this conversation. Mind made me aware, and I asked him, is the Reddit crying over this today? I haven't even bothered to look. He says, nah, this post was actually instantly removed. Me, I say, shocker. He says the mods were active. I asked him if it was him that posted this conversation. He says, nope, he doesn't even have a Reddit account, but he was spamming F5 to see if someone had posted this, and this was instantly removed. Yes, this is the BDO official subreddit that I am banned from, and I'll show you why I was banned from the subreddit. You will think it's hilarious. So moderators changed their server settings for posts to now be approved by moderators. So mine makes a Reddit account and shows me what the text in this it will say. Some context as to why he had this post. He's posting this post. If he's supposed to get removed, the or I get banned. The bias in the subreddit is sure is real. He explains himself. He explains why he does it. He links the video. And then he says every post has to be approved by moderators. So you look at this, you can see that this post that he wanted to post himself as a conversation was waiting approval. So we click on this Reddit link itself. We go look at it, and even 48 hours later, still waiting approval. Do you think it's going to get approved? I sure don't. So then we scroll down and go back to 3 years prior, where the post about myself blowing up my account, the dumpster fire. If you want to check out that video, I will link it in the description down below. You guys can check that out. Where I'm talking to the moderators about my gear destruction. The long story short of this, you're more than welcome to pause this and read through it if you want. It's also in the videos I will link. But the long story short is they felt this conversation was an important one to have because it's on the topic of potential streamer privilege. And after talking with them pretty thoroughly, they decided to reapprove the thread, but they locked the comments to reduce the spreading of misinformation, but still allowing the post just to live as it is. And unironically enough, where their number one rule was to not witch hunt people. And let me tell you, people went for my fucking throat, including upwards of death threats, which is just insane to me. You can see here that Fake Uniform has informed me of the slanderous and falsehoods, and thus this has been removed. Edit, having talked with me, he said no special conversations or anything of the matter allowed me to get sort of special treatment. Gear that was enhanced was not recovered. Gear that was sold to other players was not given back. But they decided to approve the thread, but locking it due to the complaints about the attacks of my character from misinformation surrounding the incident. I don't even know why this post was honestly left up even to begin with, if they're just going to remove any conversations that are meant to be had under this topic, showing that regular players can indeed do this. Unironically enough, around the same time, I even started getting notifications and honest trolling of just like, hey, a concerned Redditor has reached out to us about you, sending me the crisis service line and the suicide watch line and all this other crap. And as you go through here, you can see that eventually I got banned from the BDO subreddit. Why, you may ask? I'll show you why. First off, I think it's important to consider looking at my account and the things that I post. If you look through my posts on the BDO subreddit specifically, I post content to BDO and I post memes. That's the only thing that I post. As you continue to go through, you can see that I start responding to people in regards to the drama that was 3 years ago. And eventually I kind of just embraced it and said, you know what, if BDO needs a villain, then I'll wear the mask. So I decided to. Why I got banned from the BDO subreddit though, was for this reason. If we go to the top post of the BDO subreddit of all time, there's one specific post here. Let me just load some more here. This many people want this removed. This many people want Valencia grind spots to be buffed. Or how about another one? This many people want maximum of 5 pets. 3 top posts. You know what I got banned for? This many people want Drigan and Kama buffed like Valencia. And unironically enough, 2 weeks later, Drigan and Kama got buffed. I wasn't the reason for it, but I was part of the conversation amongst many other people saying things like this. I got banned from the BDO subreddit for this post. That's what I was banned. Sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators, to which I then received a permanent ban because that was completely warranted. You've been permanently banned. You can still subscribe to all-time posts, similar nature. My response was simply just, I'm sorry, what? I have never heard back from them since. Shocker. So we scroll down here, but isn't it ironic? Because I tried at the time that the gear destruction Reddit post where it said I talked shit about the game and got rewarded with my gear being given back to me. They even linked my video where I was destroying my gear. And of course, Reddit, why would they click on the video where the first 2 minutes of that video was me praising the game? First 2 minutes is me praising the game. If you want to check that out, you absolutely can. But when that all happened, I remember trying to post clarity on what my ticket was. So as soon as I posted my ticket for clarity, my thread was locked and it was removed. Whenever I spoke up or said anything, it was locked and or removed. Even posting more about the clarity of my stuff and all this jazz and why I'm posting this for clarity, removed. Now, unironically enough, I did make a post saying we had some good moments together. Thanks for all this. You can pause and take a look at this. Big Ooks saying thanks for the good times. And when I tried to post my stuff on the clarity with my tickets and stuff, not only was it locked, removed, moderators just copied my farewell response as their reason for removing it, to which less than 5 minutes later, they changed it to locked to rule breaking comments. They didn't Why didn't they lock the comments? What do you mean? And then we go to their number one rule: the no witch hunting, no trolling. And yet those posts ran wild. Had no problem leaving those posts up in terms of the conversation for streamer privilege. But now when we find a normal player blowing up their account and a normal player submitting a ticket to get all of their items back and talk about that conversation to be had, that's simply not allowed to be had on Reddit. They will not allow that conversation to be had. Not only will they not have that conversation, they will remove it. They may ban you. And now your posts have to be approved. So when talking about this topic itself, but when we go to the post of the individual who recovered their gear, completely normal player talking about having recovered all their gear, and not to mention had more treatment than I did and recovered even more things beyond even what I was offered, these won't be approved. So what gives? I mean, personally, I would love to keep contributing towards the community and the content that I was making and the content and the conversations that I was part of. I would love to still be part of that. You go through and do a back check on my Reddit account to see all the things I've ever posted in that subreddit, and all it ever was jokes and memes, not bashing this game. The only negative conversation I was ever part of was trying to stand up for myself. And then finally, when showing proof that any normal player could do this, that conversation is not allowed to be had. Has to be approved or it's getting removed. And once again, this still exists. This wasn't removed, just the comments were locked. Still there to this fucking day. The brain rot goes crazy. Whatever the reason, this is absolutely spineless bias behavior. And this shit is run like an absolute fucking circus. This is an absolute fucking joke. You want to talk about other things and doom and glooming content that make this game look bad? This fucking subreddit makes this shit look bad. You know what? Not my circus, not my fucking monkeys. But you guys are a bunch of fucking clowns.